Welcome to this digital presentation providing information about the Bruce County Archaeological Management Plan.
This video was created to support a virtual open house held in March 2020 and as an introduction to the development of this important planning tool for Bruce County.
My name is Joshua Dent.
And I'm Holly Martel.
And we're with Timmins Martel Heritage Consultants, the team brought on to complete this project. We're supported by a steering committee consisting of representatives from Bruce County Administration and Planning, the Bruce County Public Library, and the Bruce County Museum and Cultural Center.
We want to start by acknowledging that this study is being undertaken within the traditional territory of the Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation and Saugeen First Nation, collectively Saugeen Ojibway Nation, or San. San's traditional territory is bounded on the south by the Maitland River system from Goderich to past Arthur, on the west by the Canada-US border in the middle of Lake Huron, on the north by a line along the midpoint of the channel between the Saugeen or Bruce Peninsula and Manitoulin Island, and on the east by a line down the middle of Georgian Bay. The San also asserts Aboriginal title over that portion of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay within their territory. The people of the Chippewas of Nawash and Saugeen First Nations have lived, fished, hunted, and traded throughout these lands for generations, and continue to do so today. They have a deep connection to the lands within their traditional territory. This includes cultural heritage, spiritual and sacred sites, artifacts and archaeological sites, built heritage, and cultural heritage landscapes. It also includes care and protection for the ancestors and their resting places.
This study is also being undertaken within the Historic Saugeen Métis territory. The Historic Saugeen Métis are descended from unions between European traders and First Nations women. The Historic Saugeen Métis hunt, fish, trap, and harvest the lands and waters of the Bruce Peninsula and Lake Huron. Today, they define their territory as covering Grey, Bruce, Huron, the northern part of Lambton, and parts of Wellington, Dufferin, and Waterloo counties. In addition to Indigenous communities, Bruce County is home to various descendant communities who have contributed to the artistic, cultural, and heritage fabric of Bruce County.
Bruce County is currently undertaking a comprehensive review of its official plan. An official plan guides the planning decisions made by Bruce County Council and Administration.
Alongside this review, the county has undertaken 2 additional planning exercises: an Archaeological Management Plan and a Cultural Action Plan. This presentation introduces the Archaeological Management Plan, or AMP.
TMHC has been contracted to complete these plans, but we can't do it alone. We are relying on consultation with Indigenous communities, community stakeholders, our steering and advisory committees, and on interested individuals like you. Bruce County has a rich past that's represented in the archaeological record of the region.
There are currently 227 known archaeological sites registered in Bruce County, according to the Ministry of Heritage, Sport, Tourism, and Culture Industries. At least half, likely a good deal more than half, are Indigenous sites. These sites date back thousands of years and reinforce the long-standing presence of Indigenous peoples on the land and water of Bruce County.
The Saugeen Ojibway Nation's stewardship of this heritage has played a crucial role up till this point, and the creation of the AMP should only strengthen this stewardship into the future. The remainder of sites relate to settlement after the arrival of Europeans. These historic sites could include original settler cabins and homes, mill locations, cemeteries, institutions such as churches or schools, amongst a host of other possibilities.
With archaeological resources often being synonymous with Indigenous heritage, it's important to appreciate how Indigenous communities are currently involved in the management of this heritage. Both federal and provincial legislation and policies call for Indigenous community involvement in decisions regarding their heritage and the identification and management of archaeological resources.
Saugeen Ojibway Nation's long history of advocacy and stewardship of these resources and heritage has contributed to the nation's widespread participation on archaeological projects, as have provincial requirements to work with First Nations communities. The creation of an AMP considers adding engagement requirements to the municipal county levels.
Through consultation during the preparation of an AMP, Indigenous communities can identify areas of traditional land use where archaeological sites might exist, define points of interest, and establish how they would like to be involved in archaeological assessments. So given this background, you might be asking yourself, what is an archaeological management plan? Put simply, an AMP is a tool used by municipalities to ensure that the archaeological resources within their jurisdiction are being identified, evaluated, and protected during the planning process. This includes the mapping of areas with potential for archaeological resources to be present.
When completed, an AMP is used to determine when archaeological assessments are required prior to land disturbance, as a condition of approval of planning applications, including, among others, plans of subdivision, zoning bylaw amendments, minor variances, and official plan amendments. As for what constitutes archaeological resources, the Ontario government has set out specific definitions. Within those definitions, archaeological resources most often refer to archaeological sites and artifacts.
Examples of these archaeological resources might include the remnants of fires and of dwellings, referred to as archaeological features, or artifacts such as tools and household goods.
Most of what we've talked about so far relates to the archaeological resources that have already been found and documented. However, a big part of an AMP is addressing archaeological resources that might be present at a location but haven't been identified yet. This is referred to as archaeological potential. Archaeological potential is defined as areas with the likelihood to contain archaeological resources. Methods to identify archaeological potential are established by the province, but municipal approaches which achieve the same objectives may also be used. The Ontario Heritage Act requires archaeological potential to be confirmed through archaeological fieldwork.
Known archaeological resources and archaeological potential are generated through systematic review of a number of sources, including help from people like you who share their knowledge and experiences. An AMP combines known archaeological resources with archaeological potential to create a valuable planning tool.
Once we've collected all of that data, we generate one of the most important parts of an AMP, a map, which shows known archaeological sites and areas with the potential to contain archaeological resources. For municipal planners, this map becomes an important reference tool. Besides identifying where archaeological resources might be, an AMP can include contingency plans, which indicate what to do if archaeological resources are found where they were not expected to be. An AMP can also provide guidance to developers and planners on when, where, and how to consult with Indigenous communities. It should be emphasized here that only official plans and provincial policy can actually require this consultation. These requirements are important because archaeology very often involves and affects Indigenous heritage.
So how does an AMP work? By way of example, let's consider a developer planning a development, in this case, a subdivision. First, they initiate a development application with the municipality, providing information about the location and nature of what they wish to build. Among a number of other elements reviewed, a municipal planner will consult the AMP to see where that development falls relative to known and potential archaeological resources. If necessary, the planner will then require an archaeological assessment as a condition of approval. This assessment will have to be completed prior to any land disturbance. The better designed an AMP, the more predictable the need for archaeological assessments. This helps curb uncertainty for planners and developers both.
So how can you help create a better AMP? First, share knowledge you might have about past uses of the land and resources that can help predict where archaeological resources might be. Locations of archaeological sites and artifacts you might have found, old maps and journals, gravestones or cemeteries. But please do not post this information. Instead, share directly with us through email at bruceamp@tmhc.ca. Second, you can share perspectives on how archaeology should be managed in municipal planning.
We'll be consulting with residents and stakeholders in Bruce County throughout the design process, which is scheduled to end in June 2020. You can keep up to date by registering and subscribing to Bruce County's engagement website at www.planthebruce.ca/heritage.
Thank you for your time and attention, and we look forward to presenting the results of these projects later this year.